By sunset, my only brother had been fined $650. By nightfall, my house was gone. And before midnight, someone else was sitting in a jail cell with no fine at all. I was standing in the cold hallway of the Riverside County Courthouse in California when the judge slammed his wooden hammer and said, "Case closed." My brother, Marcus, smiled. Not a small smile. A victory smile. The kind of smile that says, "I won and you lost everything." I clutched the papers in my shaking hands. Papers that showed I had just sold the house I bought 3 months ago. The house I worked 10 years for. The house I dreamed of raising my future kids in.
Gone.
All because of him. All because of a lie. And just when I thought my heart couldn't break anymore, a police officer walked past me and whispered, "Ma'am, someone else has been arrested. Someone innocent. Someone who trusted me. Someone who never saw it coming." I felt sick. I felt dizzy. I felt like screaming. But I couldn't, because at that moment I realized this wasn't an accident. This was planned. If you've ever trusted family and been stabbed in the back, if you've ever lost everything in one day,
Please stay with me.
like this story,
Subscribe.
and watch till the end, because what I did next changed everything. Let me take you back. My name is Alyssa Parker. I'm from Riverside, California. I'm 32 years old. I work as a medical assistant at a small clinic near Jefferson High School. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I'm just a normal woman who believed family was everything. Growing up, it was just me and my brother. Marcus is 2 years older than me. When our parents died in a car crash when I was 17, I became the strong one. I cooked. I cleaned. I worked 2 jobs. I helped him finish high school. I paid part of his college fees. I even sold my old car so he could start his delivery business. Everyone used to say, "Alyssa, you're such a good sister." And I believed it. Marcus always said, "Don't worry, sis. One day, I'll repay you." I trusted him. With my life. With my future. With my heart. After 10 years of saving, skipping vacations, wearing old clothes, and working double shifts, I finally did it. I bought my first house. A small white house on Maple Street. 2 bedrooms. 1 tiny garden. A wooden porch. When I got the keys, I cried in my car for 30 minutes. I called Marcus first. "I did it," I told him. "I finally did it." He laughed. "I'm proud of you, sis. That's amazing." He even helped me move in. He painted my living room. He fixed my sink. He hugged me and said, "This house is proof you never gave up." I believed him.
I thought he was happy for me.
I was wrong. 3 weeks later, everything changed. It was a rainy Tuesday evening when Marcus called me, panicking. "Alyssa," he said, breathing hard. "I'm in trouble." "What kind of trouble?"
I asked.
I had an accident. My heart jumped. "Are you hurt?"
No.
"But I crashed into a car." "Okay. Insurance will handle it." "No," he whispered. "Not just any car." "Whose?" "A judge's." I froze. "A judge?"
Yes.
"Judge William Carter. From Riverside Court." My hands started shaking. That's bad, Marcus." "It's worse," he said. "He says I was reckless. He says I disrespected the court. He's pressing charges." I sat on my couch, staring at my wall. "How much is the fine?" I asked. $650, he said. Relief washed over me. "That's not too bad. You can pay that." There was silence. Then he said quietly, "I can't." "What do you mean you can't?" "My business is failing. I'm in debt. I owe people." I stood up. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to worry you." I sighed. "Marcus, I'll help you." He started crying. Real crying. "You're the only one I have, sis." Those words broke me. So, I went to see him. He looked tired, broken,
Scared.
He showed me papers, court notices, letters, warnings. He said the judge was angry. He said if he didn't pay fast, things could get worse. Worse how? I asked. "Jail," he whispered. My stomach dropped. I can't let that happen, I said. He grabbed my hands. I don't know what to do. I'll lose everything. I thought about my house.
My only big asset.
My only safety. My dream. And I said the words that ruined my life. I'll figure something out. The next day, Marcus brought me to meet a legal advisor. A man named Mr. Henson. He wore a suit. He had glasses. He spoke calmly. He said, "Sometimes courts can be flexible. If you show commitment." What kind of commitment? I asked. Large payments. Quickly. How much?
More than $650, he said.
How much more? About 90,000. I almost fell off my chair. That's impossible. Marcus looked at me, with tears in his eyes. With your house, it's possible. I stared at him. You want me to sell my home?
Just for now, he said.
I'll pay you back. I promise. I worked 10 years for that house. I know, he whispered. And I worked 10 years watching you struggle. That sounded sweet. It was poison. I didn't know. Not yet. For 2 nights, I couldn't sleep. I walked around my house, touched my walls, sat on my porch, cried on my floor. Then I called a realtor. 3 days later, I signed the papers. 3 days later, my house was sold. 3 days later, I gave Marcus the money. And that same night, I got a phone call. From the police. Alyssa Parker? The officer asked. Yes. We need you to come to the station. Why? There's been an arrest connected to your brother's case. Marcus.
No, he said.
Someone else. My heart stopped.
Who? He paused.
Then said a name that made my knees collapse. And that's where everything truly began. When the officer said the name, I dropped my phone. It hit the kitchen floor and slid under the table. I didn't even move. I just stood there, staring at the wall, like my body had turned into stone. Ma'am, the officer said through the speaker. Are you still there? I slowly picked up the phone. My hands were shaking so badly I almost couldn't hold it. You said Ethan Parker? I whispered. Yes, ma'am. Ethan. My cousin. My parents' sister's son. The boy who grew up with us. The boy who called my mom, Auntie, and cried at her funeral. The boy who helped me pack my boxes when I moved into my house. The boy who trusted me with everything. He didn't do anything, I said. We have evidence, the officer replied. He's being held at Riverside Police Station. I sat down hard on the floor. No, I whispered. No, no, no. Ethan was a school teacher at Lincoln Middle School. He spent his weekends tutoring kids. He volunteered at church. He had never even had a parking ticket. And now he was in jail. Because of my brother. Because of me. I'm coming, I said. I didn't even change my clothes. I grabbed my keys and drove. It was raining again.
Like the night Marcus called me.
The streets were dark. My windshield kept fogging up. I couldn't see clearly. Just like my life. At the police station, they made me wait. 30 minutes. Then an hour. Then 2. I sat on a cold metal chair, biting my nails, staring at the door. Finally, a female officer called my name. Alyssa Parker? Yes. She led me into a small room. Ethan was sitting behind glass. He looked smaller, tired, scared. When he saw me, his eyes filled with tears. Alyssa, he said. I didn't do it. I rushed to the phone. I know, I cried. I know you didn't. They say I helped Marcus hide money, he said. They say I forged papers. What? I whispered. That's a lie, he said. I never signed anything. My heart pounded. Hide money? Forge papers? What was Marcus doing? I'll fix this, I promised. I swear. Ethan nodded, but he didn't look hopeful. He looked broken. When I left the station, I called Marcus. No answer. I called again. No answer. Again. Voicemail. Marcus. I said, trying not to cry. Ethan is in jail. What did you do? Nothing. The next morning, Marcus finally called me back. Sis, he said softly. Relax. Relax, I shouted. Ethan is locked up. He'll be fine, Marcus replied. It's just a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? He's in a cell. Alyssa, he sighed. You're being dramatic. That word hurt. Dramatic. After everything I gave him. I sold my house for you, I said. For you. And I appreciate it, he said quickly. But don't make me feel bad. That sentence stabbed me. Don't make me feel bad. Like I was the problem. Explain, I said. Right now.
He paused.
Then said, I needed someone to look like they helped me move money. Ethan's name was on some old business forms. What forms? I asked. Stuff from years ago, he replied. It's nothing. You used him, I cried. I had no choice, Marcus said. The judge was watching me. My chest felt tight. You promised me, I whispered. You promised you'd pay me back. I will, he said. When things settle. When? I asked. Soon. That word again.
Soon.
Days passed. Then weeks. Ethan stayed in jail. No bail. No release. His job put him on leave. His landlord gave him warnings. His girlfriend stopped answering his calls. I visited him every weekend. Each time, he looked worse. I'm losing everything, he told me one day. Because of your brother. I'm so sorry, I cried. And I meant it. I started digging. I asked questions. I requested documents. I visited the courthouse. I read files. And slowly, I saw it. Transfers. Fake signatures. Hidden accounts. All connected to Marcus. And one name kept appearing. Judge William Carter. Over and over. Late-night meetings. Private hearings. Special permissions. It didn't look normal. It looked dirty. One afternoon, I confronted Marcus. We met at a diner near Central Avenue. He looked relaxed. Eating pancakes. Smiling. How can you eat? I asked. He shrugged. Life goes on. Ethan might go to prison, I said. He won't, Marcus replied. I made sure of that. My heart skipped. What do you mean? He leaned closer. Someone else will take the fall. I stared at him. Who? He smiled. A slow, cold smile. You, he said. I laughed. Because I thought he was joking. Then he pulled out his phone. And showed me something. A document. With my name. My signature. On accounts I never opened. On papers I never signed. I forged it, he whispered. Just like I did with Ethan. My blood turned to ice. You wouldn't, I said. You already paid for me, he replied. Why not go all the way? I stood up. You're evil, I said. Survival, he corrected. That night, police knocked on my door. I opened it in pajamas. Half asleep. They showed me a warrant. Miss Parker, the officer said, you are under investigation for financial fraud. My legs gave out. Handcuffs clicked around my wrists. My neighbors watched. Phones recording. Whispers spreading. As they pushed me into the car, I saw Marcus across the street. Standing in the shadows. Watching. Smiling. And that's when I knew. He didn't just take my house. He took my life. And he wasn't done yet. The back seat of the police car was cold. Hard. Smelled like metal and old sweat. My hands were cuffed in front of me. They were starting to hurt, but I didn't complain. I couldn't even think straight. People were staring. My neighbors. A man walking his dog. A woman taking out trash. All of them watching like I was a criminal. Like I was dangerous. Like I was nothing. I wanted to scream. I didn't do anything, but my voice was stuck in my chest. At the station, they took my fingerprints. My photo. My phone. My purse. Everything. Then they put me in a small gray room. No window. Just a table. 2 chairs. A camera blinking red. I sat there for almost an hour. Alone. Thinking about my house. My job. Ethan. My parents. My life. Then the door opened. 2 men walked in. One was a detective. Tall. Bald. Serious face. The other, I recognized. Judge William Carter. My heart almost stopped. What is he doing here?
I asked. The detective ignored me.
Judge Carter sat across from me, folded his hands, looked at me like I was dirt. Alyssa Parker, he said calmly, you've made some bad choices.
I didn't do anything, I replied.
My brother lied. He smiled, a small smile.
You sold your house, he said. Yes.
For Marcus. You transferred money, he continued.
Yes.
To help him. And those accounts, he asked. I never opened them. He slid papers toward me. Your signature. It's fake. He leaned closer. Do you know what forgery means? Yes, I snapped. It's what Marcus did. The detective finally spoke. Miss Parker, these documents are illegal. No, they're not. They passed verification, he said. I felt dizzy.
How?
I whispered. Judge Carter stood up. You see, he said, your brother and I had an understanding. My ears rang. An understanding? He caused me embarrassment, the judge continued. Public damage. A crash. A headline. I needed compensation. So you took my house. I cried. Not directly, he said. I guided him. My nails dug into my palms. You're corrupt, I said.
He laughed.
Be careful, Miss Parker. Then he left.
Just like that.
Like he owned the place.
They released me that night.
No charges yet. But under investigation. My job put me on unpaid leave. My boss said, until this is cleared, don't come in. My bank froze my accounts. I couldn't pay rent. I was staying on my friend Lily's couch. 32 years old. Homeless.
Broke.
Ashamed. One night, I visited Ethan again. He looked thinner. His eyes were empty. They offered me a deal, he said quietly. What deal? I asked. If I admit I helped you, I get less time. I froze. They want you to lie, I whispered. He nodded. I don't want to, he said. But I'm scared. I held his hands through the glass. Don't, I begged. Please don't. I trust you, he replied. But I'm tired. That broke me. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking. Marcus. The judge. The accounts. The signatures. Then I remembered something. 3 months ago, when I bought my house, Marcus helped me with paperwork. He said, I'm good with forms.
He sat next to me. He watched me sign.
He took photos of my ID, my social, my bank info. I felt sick. He planned this. From the start, I went back to the courthouse. I asked for public records. I sat for hours reading files.
Then I saw it.
A clerk's note, hidden deep in the system. Special processing requested by W. Carter. On Marcus's case. On Ethan's case. On mine. All linked. That was proof. Not enough. But a start. I needed more. So I followed Marcus. For 3 days. From his apartment. To coffee shops. To motels. To quiet offices. On the 3rd night, he met someone in a parking garage. Judge Carter. They didn't see me. I hid behind a pillar. I recorded everything on my phone. Their voices were clear. You got the money, the judge said. Yes, Marcus replied. From my sister. She sold her house? Every brick. They laughed. My hands shook. Good, the judge said. Now the blame stays on her. And Ethan? Marcus asked. He's replaceable. I covered my mouth.
Tears fell.
I had proof. Real proof. I felt hope for the first time in months. The next morning, I went to my storage unit. The one where I kept my old laptop. My backups. My documents. I opened the door. And froze. It was empty. Everything gone. Laptop. Hard drives. Files. Photos. Proof. All gone. On the wall, written in black marker, were 3 words. Too late, sis. I fell to my knees. And screamed. I didn't cry anymore. After I saw those words on the wall. Too late, sis. Something inside me went quiet. Not weak. Not broken. Cold. Focused. Empty. Like all my tears had burned away. I sat on the dirty floor of that storage unit for a long time.
Hours.
Maybe longer. People walked past. Cars came and went. No one noticed me. No one cared. Just like before. But this time, I didn't beg God to fix it. I didn't pray for a miracle.
I didn't hope Marcus would change.
I made a decision. If they were playing dirty, so would I. I went back to Lily's apartment that night. I didn't tell her anything. I just took a shower, put on clean clothes, sat on the couch, and thought. Marcus stole my laptop. But he forgot one thing. I never trusted technology alone. After my parents died, I learned early. Always keep backups. Not just online. Not just on devices. On people. 2 years ago, when I was learning about investments, I used a free legal app. It recorded calls automatically. Marcus helped me practice phone calls. Fake business talks. Fake loan talks. Real recordings. And I had sent copies to my old email. An email I never used anymore. An email Marcus didn't know about. At 2:17 a.m., I logged in. My heart was racing. My hands were sweating.
Then I saw it.
Hundreds of files.
Still there.
Calls with Marcus. Messages. Voice notes. And one folder named Court Stuff Backup. I opened it and started crying. Not weak crying. Strong crying. Because inside were heavy checkmark a recorded call where Marcus said, I'll put it in Alyssa's name. Heavy checkmark a voicemail where he said, the judge already agreed. Heavy checkmark a recording where he laughed and said, she sold the house like a fool. Heavy checkmark and one call where Judge Carter himself said, make sure the blame stays on her. It was all there. Everything. They thought they erased me. They didn't. The next morning, I didn't go to the police. I didn't go to court. I went to a reporter. Her name was Megan Lewis. She worked for Channel 7 News in Los Angeles. I found her email. I sent one message. I have proof of a judge and businessman framing innocent people, including me. She replied in 10 minutes. We met that afternoon. I played the recordings.
She didn't speak.
She just stared at me. Then she said, this is huge. 2 days later, the story went live.
Headline.
Riverside judge accused of corruption scheme with local businessman. Marcus's face was on TV. Judge Carter's face was everywhere. My voice was played. My recordings were played. My story was told. The whole country heard it. Everything exploded. Internal affairs came. The FBI came. Federal investigators came. Judge Carter was arrested at his office. In front of his staff. In front of reporters. In handcuffs. Marcus tried to run. He packed a bag. Bought a bus ticket. But they caught him at the station. When they put him in the car, he was screaming. Alyssa did this. She ruined me.
No.
He ruined himself. 2 weeks later, Ethan was released. No charges. No record. No stain. When I saw him walk out of jail, I cried harder than I ever had. He hugged me and said, you saved my life. I shook my head. No, I said. We saved each other. Now about the title. Let me tell you how it really ended. Marcus's original charge? The crash with the judge? $650. That was it. $650. That's all he was supposed to pay. But because of greed, because of lies, because of betrayal, he got charged with
fraud,
conspiracy,
forgery,
bribery, obstruction of justice. Sentence? 8 years in federal prison. No fine. Just bars.
Just time.
Just regret. Judge Carter? Removed.
Disgraced. Pension gone.
Career over. Prison sentence. History will remember him as a criminal, not a judge. And me? I lost my house.
Yes.
I never got it back. But I got something better. My name. My freedom. My truth. A nonprofit helped me with housing. I went back to work. I started over. From zero. With pride. Last month, I visited Marcus in prison. He looked small.
Gray.
Old. He said, I'm sorry, sis. I looked at him through the glass. and said, I forgave you a long time ago. But I never forgot. Then I walked away.
So yes.
My only brother was fined $650. I sold my house by nightfall, and someone else went to jail with no fine because I refused to stay silent, because I refused to stay broken, because I chose to fight. And if you're listening to this and someone is using you, lying to you, breaking you, remember my story. You're not weak. You're just one decision away from taking your life back.